Hello girls and boys, welcome to Blackboard Techniques. In today's class, we'll be solving third problem in exercise 2.1. Here the question is, prove that the product of two consecutive positive integers is divisible by 2. This is the question. What we need to prove? The product of, what is product in math? Multiplication, right? Product of two consecutive positive integers. Positive integers means only plus numbers. Okay, any plus numbers. Two consecutive. Consecutive means the numbers which comes one after another. We can say continuous numbers. For example, 1 and 2, 5 and 6, 100 and 101, we can say any numbers which comes one after another, that is consecutive positive integers, is divisible by 2. Divisible by 2 means it can be divided by 2 without leaving the remainder. Here remainder is, that should be 0, remainder should be 0. Okay, divisible by 2 means it can be divided by 2 without leaving the remainder. The remainder is 0. Okay. Here, for example, if you are considering 1 and 2, first case, okay, and 4 and 5, second case. Here, we have 1 and 2. First number is odd number, second number is even number, right? And here this 4 is even number, this is odd number. So if you are considering any numbers, any two consecutive positive integer should be containing one odd number and one even number. Any number we are taking, that will be containing one odd number and one even number. Okay. So in this case, we need to check both the cases. Here first number is odd. Here first number is even. Okay. In this case, we should check both the cases. If first number is odd means what will happen? If first number is even means what will happen? We need to check everything. Let me explain it step by step. Now we can see the solution. For the solution, I have to check all the numbers. In this case, the question is any positive numbers, product of any two positive consecutive positive numbers divisible is divided by 2. Okay, so I have to check all the cases. So I am taking n as common variable for representing any number. Okay. N. If I am taking 1 and 2, for example, if I am taking 1 and 2, first number is 1, second number is 2. First number, if the first number is added with 1, we'll be getting 2, right? And here also, if the first number is added with 1, we'll be getting 5. The difference is 1, right? So, if I am taking first variable as n means, that is first number. Okay, second number would be n plus 1, right? For representing all the numbers, I am taking the common variable as n, and if it is first number is n, second number would be n plus 1. Okay, here we don't know n is odd or even, n plus 1 is odd or even. So we are going to check both the cases. If first case would be, if n is odd means what will happen? Okay, and in second case, if n is even means what will happen? Okay, let me explain. Here I have taken n comma n plus 1. Okay, in first case, what we have to do, if n is odd means what would be the next step? Here I am taking first number n. Okay, here what is the formula for creating odd number? In previous example we had discussed about, in previous classes we had discussed about the formula for creating odd numbers, right? Creating odd numbers, that is 2k plus 1. If you haven't checked that video, do check it out so that this problem would be easy for you. And here this k means any number. We can apply any number for k. We'll be getting the answer is odd number. Okay. Here we are considering only positive numbers because that is mentioned in the question. So I'm taking 2k plus 1. Why? Because the formula for creating odd numbers. So if n equal to 2k plus 1 means the next number would be 2k plus 1, right? This 2k plus 1 and we should add 1. Okay. Then we'll be getting 2k plus 2. In both numbers, in both cases we are having 2 as common. So I'm taking 2 as common. So what would be inside k plus 1? Right? This is the value of n plus 1. This is n. Our question is product of two consecutive positive numbers. So this is first positive numbers. This is second positive number. We should calculate product n into n plus 1. So n means 2k plus 1 and this n plus 1 value is 2 into k plus 1. Okay. This is the product. This is the multiplication of n and n plus 1. So next step would be this is the product we have calculated. After calculating product, what would be the next step? That could be divided by 2, right? Without leaving the remainder. If I am dividing this product by 2, I'll get the particular answer. The remainder is 0, right? We couldn't get the remainder. So in this case, it is proved. Okay. Here, this n into n plus 1 can be divided by 2 without leaving the remainder. Hence, we can write hence n into n plus 1 can be divided by 2. Here we have checked the first case. Okay. In case of first number is odd. Next case, if the first number is even means what will happen? Here next case is if n is even. Okay. Here we need to know the formula for creating even numbers. Even numbers formula is 2k. Okay. Odd number formula is 2k plus 1. Even number formula is 2k. If you are applying any number for k, in this case we are considering only positive numbers. In this case we will be getting this number. We will be getting even number. Okay. This n represents even. Then if n is 2k means n plus 1 would be 2k plus 1, right? So here we have to remember the formula for creating even numbers. In that case, we should remember the formula for creating odd numbers. Here n equals 2k. There n equals 2k plus 1. So here n is 2k, n plus 1 is 2k plus 1. What we need to find out? Product of n and n plus 1, right? So I am multiplying this 2k and 2k plus 1. 2k into 2k plus 1. So this is the product of this n and n plus 1. Step, what we need to find out? We need to check whether it is divisible by 2 or not. If we are dividing by 2, we'll be getting particular answer, right? without leaving the remainder. So that because it's this 2k has the factor of 2, okay, so it can be divided by 2. So that how we can write, hence n into n plus 1 can be divided by 2. This is the answer of case 2. Final answer would be, how we can write, hence it is proved that the product of two consecutive positive integers is divisible by 2. This is the answer of this problem. Read the question properly, then only you can solve this problem. So in this case, you should remember the formula for creating even numbers and also creating the odd numbers. Formula for creating odd numbers and what variable we are considering. We should remember that, and after that you have to check two cases. In first case, if n is odd means, if n is even means, what would be the answer, what would be the product? And next case, if n is odd means, what would be the product? What would be the multiplication of that two numbers? And finally, just check the product. If it is divisible by 2, we can, here we have 2, right? Here also 2, here also 2, k plus 1. So it is divisible by 2. So that we can write, hence it can be divided by 2 without leaving the remainder. And finally, we have to write like, hence it is proved that two positive consecutive integers is divisible by 2. That's it. That's all for this video. I hope this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, do thumbs up, share it with your friends, and for more updates, subscribe to the channel Blackboard Techniques. We'll see you in another video. Until then, Shiny signing off.